was his manager. He was the one that made him a big star. You know, let's film a little bit further down. It's on? Oh, it's filming?
Yeah, no.
Gotta tell me about these things, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, so this is, you know, like I said, I was saying about the building in here, you know, and like I said, this park on the weekends is alive with families up in the park doing cookouts and stuff like that. Not very many people out here right now. It's Friday, but and it's a really cloudy day today. It's a little muggy though. But when I walked down this street, and I once wrote a story about it. I called the story "Down These Mean Streets," and it was during the time when I stopped selling drugs and went back to college. Well, I started going to college because I had never gone to college. Right out of high school, I joined the Marines, and I never got to go to college.
That's what you call Marine boy.
Yeah, they call me Marine boy because I was in the Marine Corps. And when I came back home, that's what they started calling me, Marine boy.
Oh.
You know, before that it was just Willie. And then there was a few of us, so they called us by numbers. I was Willie 1, because I was the oldest, and then there was Willie 2, who was Willie with my partner. There was another Willie here, Willie Chivita, Willie 3, and then there was another Willie Klassen. There was a few Willies, so we all had numbers, and some had nicknames. But when I came home from the Marines, it's when I got my nickname Marine Boy, and that was back in when I joined the Marines was in 1973. And in 74, early 74 was when I started being called Willie Marine Boy. And when I come home on leave, I'd have my uniform on and stuff like that. And I'd walk in the neighborhood and, you know, and people saw a difference in me because, you know, I now had more discipline. And I was only 17 years old, by the way, when I joined the Marines. So I needed that discipline. Because when I first went to the Marines, I gave them a hard time. And I wouldn't listen to them until we got this new drill instructor from Brooklyn. And he told me, "You're from New York, right? Where you from?" I said, "I'm from the Bronx," right? He said, "Well, I'm from Brooklyn." Started banging me in the head with his smoky. "I'm from Brooklyn, and I will kick your ass if you don't give me a yes, sir." And he kept hitting me with his hat. I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Louder!" Boom, and he hit me again with his smoky. "Yes, sir." And he was the one that got me disciplined. So the first guy that got me disciplined, you know, away from that gang mentality was from Brooklyn. You know, Sergeant Ryan. I never forgot him because he was a real cool dude. You know, but he did 3 tours in Nam, and because later after we finished training, he told us the reason why they were so rough on us, because they called us ladies, girls, no respect at all. You know, they didn't even call us recruits. Ladies, bitches, girls, whatever. They always like ridiculed us, and it was to make us stronger. You know, because he did 3 tours in Nam. You see, these guys are playing dominoes over here, and this is a common sight too. You got to take a picture of these guys. You know, playing dominoes in the corner of the park and stuff like that, which is really cool. You know, yeah. You know, these are all the old timers from the neighborhood. You know, and most of them know me since I was a kid. You know, and this is where I grew up, though. This is the street where this is the area where I grew up. This is the heart of South Bronx. And during the nighttime, in the daytime, you were here. They're not on their way to a fire, but if not, you hear the fire. All this noise and stuff like that. It's fire truck. Oh, you couldn't hear me?
No, I don't think they could hear you.
No, I wanted to get the fire truck. Because usually you hear them wailing their sirens and making all this noise late at night and everything. Like, see, this is what I'm talking about. On the weekends, you'll see a lot of birthday parties in the park and stuff like that. You know, a lot of kids. Today, like I said, it's not very time. But if we look down this way, this is St. Anne's Avenue, by the way. If we go down that way, you know, that area is being really built up, especially on the other side where they have a lot of new complexes for the middle class as well. So there's a whole area back there where we might go there later, but I'll eventually get that area because they built that whole area up. And it's like a Yuppieville, you know. People that work in Manhattan live there, you know, so they have better patrols there. But we have good patrols here, though. There's not as much violence here, especially in the daytime, as there used to be back in the 60s and 70s and even the 80s. You know, there was a lot of violence all over the place, a lot of drug sales, especially during the crack epidemic of the 80s. You know, it was really bad, too, you know. So now you don't see that anymore. You don't see them out blatantly selling out in the streets the way they used to, you know. So, anyway.
But you said that the North Bronx was pretty good before, but how is it now?
No, it's good. It's still good.
Is it good?
Yeah, because that's where you have your middle class and your upper class living up there. People that have money, And even though there's people here too that have money, a lot of people here that have money have drug money. But there's people that still, come in this area that have good jobs and all that stuff, and that they work in Manhattan. There's a lot of good families here, and there's now, you have a big migration of Mexican people coming here, and you see they're good people. They start their families, and it's, like I said, this is now a nicer community than it used to be even back during my day, where it was pretty bad. Now this is St. Mary's, the other side of St. Mary's Recreation Center. So now you got a pretty good tour of the South Bronx, of my little area of the South Bronx. Because South Bronx is pretty big. It extends, but this is what we consider the heart of the South Bronx, because this is the southernmost part of the Bronx. So that's why this is the heart of it. This is the beginning of the South Bronx. It extends out a bit further, but this area here, was a
that's
very
why they have the South Bronx, the South Bronx.
Right, the South Bronx, the South Bronx, Grandmaster Flash, and all those dudes. A lot of them came from this area, though. A lot of those dudes, a lot of hip hop heads came from out of here. And remember, this is where hip hop was born. In the South Bronx, not in this particular area. But Grandmaster Flash used to play right there in St. Mary's Park. You know what I'm saying? All of them used to come here. They used to do jams there. And then I remember being there one time when there was a shootout. And everybody started trampling all over each other, trying to get away, because it was right in the middle of the big playground over there. And I just stayed by the fence. And I said, I'm not moving, because they were all trying to get through the fences and trampling all over each other, and people were getting hurt. So I'm like, no, he's not shooting at me. If he hits me by mistake, he's going to hit me anyway, right? So I just stood right there until it all cleared out. This phone is like, non-stop. Yo, Pop, what's up, Papi? I got your package, but I'm right in the middle of a meeting right now with some people from Sweden that came here.